Hello, and welcome to the EHMIS Art Studio. Today we will be going over the syllabus. In my classroom, you will have an authentic art-making experience. What does this mean? This means you get to act like a real artist. Real artists aren't told what to do or what materials to use or how to use them. Real artists experiment and explore to discover their own possibilities. Real artists make original artwork that is different from everyone else. That is what you will experience in this classroom this year. In doing so, you'll be guided through the creative process, which has 6 steps. 1. Identify. 2. Incubate. 3. Inspire an idea. 4. Illuminate. 5. Implement. And 6. Introspect. So essentially, you will be brainstorming your ideas, researching them, sketching them out, making the piece, and lastly, writing about the piece, reflecting on it. You will find as you move through this artistic process that it can be frustrating at times and it's not easy. That is why I'm here. I'm here as your guide, as a fellow artist, to help you get the result that you want. Now that we've talked about what you will be making in the art studio, let's talk about the expectations. How to strive in the art studio. 1. Safety first. Follow directions and use all tools and materials as demonstrated. If you choose not to use a tool or material as demonstrated, such as throwing clay across the classroom, running around with an X-Acto, cutting someone's hair with a pair of scissors, you will have a direct office referral. You do not get a verbal warning. Also under safety is chatting quietly. It is a large class and we need to make sure that we can hear an announcement if one were to come over the loudspeaker. 2. Take responsibility. Be on time and come prepared. You need to be here before the door closes. You get 2 freebies, so if you have to knock on the door without a pass, you are marked late. After 2 lates, you will be written up with an EHMIS behavior form. Coming prepared means bringing your pencil and laptop every day to class. You also want to make sure that you bring any sketches or worksheets that you took home to work on overnight. Owning your actions and leave your workspace clean and organized is also under responsibility. You need to make sure that you clean up all the materials and tools that you used. That includes the table, the stool, and the area around your table and stool. 3. Respectful behavior. Treat everything like you would want it to be treated. That includes humans, supplies, and artwork. Listen attentively, one speaker at a time. 4. Including everyone. Contribute positively. There's no place in this classroom for foul language. That includes shut up. If that's the type of language you like to use, please keep it outside of the door. Share your knowledge and skills. If you find that you're excelling in something and the person next to you is struggling, please share with them how you accomplished what you're accomplishing. This is a great way to earn a Strive card. 5. Value opportunities. Take risks, experiment, and explore. I'd rather you try something new than not try it at all. Use your technology wisely. You should only be using your technology for 2 reasons. 1 is listening to music, and 2 is researching or referencing an image for your artwork. If you're not using your technology for one of those 2 reasons, it will be confiscated and taken down to the office for a parent to pick up at the end of the day. Be original, be weird, and get funky. Your work should be your own. You should not be plagiarizing or stealing someone else's idea. Take the idea you're interested in and combine it with your own to make it yours, not someone else's. And 6, effort. Participate in discussions and critiques. All your participation goes towards your habits of learning for communication. And challenge yourself to be productive. Keep track of the day that we're on the calendar and try to stay ahead. If you find yourself falling behind, then you're going to want to make up that work on your own time. If you choose not to follow any of these expectations, there are 3 consequences. Number 1, there will be a verbal warning. 2 is an EHMIS behavior report, a phone call home, and you will spend lunch in Mrs. McElhaney's room filling out the behavior reflection report. And lastly, 3, it is an office referral. The only reason we would skip 1 and 2 on the consequence list is if you choose to use a tool and material inappropriately. It is a direct office referral. Now let's talk about the makeup and incomplete work policy. It is your responsibility to inquire about missed work and to make arrangements to finish the work. I am usually available before or after school, provided that I am made aware. I am also available during most of your lunch and cult periods. Please ask for a pass if you need to come in during these times to make up your work. In order to be eligible for a 3, all artwork must be completed and submitted by the last day of class. If you need more time, you are allotted 2 extra weeks to get your work turned in. However, if you wasted class time by chatting, goofing off, fooling around, and not coming in with your sketches prepared, I will not give you the 2-week extension. This 2-week extension are for those motivated, dedicated artists that need that extra time because their piece was complicated and they did not waste their studio time in class. If you do not take those extra 2 weeks, or you failed to receive them because you goofed off in class, then your piece will be graded as is. What does that mean? It means it's graded at its current state. So if it's not finished, there's no way you're eligible for a 3. Instead, you most likely will receive a 1 for your unfinished work. You will also receive a 1 for responsibility and motivation for habits of learning because you did not show the enough effort or enough responsibility to complete the unfinished work. Let's talk about assessment. How will your artwork be assessed? It will be assessed using a rubric 3+, 3, 2, or 1, and you will be self-reflecting on your process using the studio habits of mind. There are 8 total studio habits of mind. Let's talk about each one. The first one is developing your craft. So what materials and tools did you use? How well did you use them? And how did they apply to the thing you were making? 2, engaging and persisting. Did you have any problems as you worked? Were you willing to fight through those problems and to find a solution? Or did you just give up easily? 3, envisioning. Did you plan out your artwork? Did you push your composition and develop multiple sketches of your idea? Or did you just go with your first one and weren't willing to push it further? 4, expressing. Can you talk about your artwork? What is it about? How is it meaningful to you? 5, observing. Are you learning to look more closely and see things that otherwise may not be seen? Or are you just skimming the surface? 6, reflecting. Can you talk about your artwork? Can you see the flaws in it? Can you see the successes in it? What about others? Are you able to give a critique to a peer, to tell them what's working and what's not working? 7, stretching and exploring. Are you willing to take your idea to the next level, or do you just take the easy way out? And 8, understanding art worlds. Are you doing your research? Are you looking at what other artists came before you? Not only are you assessed on your artistic process, but you are also assessed on your behavior in the art studio. We call this habits of learning. There are 4 categories that you are assessed on daily: cooperation, communication, responsibility, and motivation. Let's talk about what each of these habits of learning look like and what you should be doing each day to receive a 3 or a 3+. Motivation. I am motivated to think creatively and problem solve. I use my studio time wisely to complete my work. I pay attention throughout class instead of daydreaming, texting on my device, talking to other students at inappropriate times. I take on challenges instead of giving up. Cooperation. I show respect for the teacher and other students by what I say to them and how I act towards them. I demonstrate a positive attitude by happily accepting the day's work instead of complaining or negatively commenting about it. I show self-control by acting appropriately during a whole class or individual studio time. When working with a partner or multiple partners, I participate equally instead of letting others do the work for me. Communication. I actively participate in every class by contributing to class discussions and critiques. I ask questions to deepen my art-making experience. I actively listen when the teacher or another student is talking instead of making noises or talking to other students or playing on my device. Responsibility. I always bring my art materials, pencil, laptop, and sketches to class. I always complete my out-of-class assignments on time and have them ready for the start of class instead of running back to my locker to get them. When I am absent from class, I always make arrangements to complete my work. I always submit my artwork on time. Now that we've gone over assessment for both the artistic process and assessment for your behavior in the art studio, you should be well prepared to strive in the art classroom. The last thing on the syllabus is to sign up for Artsonia. If you had me last year, you may already have an account for Artsonia, and if you didn't, you will be given a free account this year. Artsonia is the world's largest student art gallery, and they have actually loaned us a mini iPad. This iPad is always up at my desk or next to the document camera for your use. So if you don't have your laptop or you don't have a personal device and you need to do some research, You are welcome to get the iPad to look something up. In order to pay for this iPad, we post our artwork to ArtSonia to get comments and feedback on it. Just to review, today we went over the syllabus, and in the syllabus we talked about how to strive to do your best in the art studio, what you will be making in the art studio, how your artwork and artistic process will be assessed, as well as how your behavior will be assessed, and lastly, how you can publish your artwork on ArtSonia for others to view digitally. I wish you the best of luck in this year's art class, and most importantly, I want you to have fun. Don't be afraid to experiment and explore.